Welcome back to Build the Weight Loss Practice of Your Dreams. I'm your host, Carol Clark, and we are focusing on the fourth week of All About Your Patient Funnel. And your patient funnel is one of those things that we have to pay attention to. As we all know, we've already gone through the different types of funnels, internal and external, the importance of them, and also the top of the funnel, the middle of the funnel, what common problems you see there, how to optimize that aspect of it and combat those problems. And today we're on to the bottom of the funnel. And so at the bottom of the funnel, this is where a lot of us may be really good at, sending messages out, educating, making sure that we have some fun and engaging posts. But at the end of the day, we just hate selling. We hate to have them come in. We like to have them come in, but we just hate that whole part of converting them into having to actually, exchange some sort of monetary payment for the services or products that you provide. So for some of us, we do avoid that, but it's really just a natural part of the process. And we have to understand that, of course, and different from general, medical practices or surgical practices or places where someone is referred to you and they're using their insurance or they come in through the ER, they're having a problem. And so they're automatically one of your patients. This is different because, as we all know, patients have a choice, and we are competing not only with some big box weight loss programs, but we're also competing with some people down the road from us, some larger health systems or other independent practices. We are competing with people who happen to just lose some weight and all of a sudden they're an expert, people who are in all different aspects of weight loss and have different products or services that they provide, people who sell some of the products for cellulite or who knows what, and all of a sudden they're a weight loss expert. So we are competing against a lot of people, and patients can get very confused by that. So that's why it's important for you to differentiate what makes you different, and then package that in a way that it makes it easy for people to understand once they get into your funnel, so to speak. Whether you like that term or not, it's just really that, that sort of a description of how it works for getting a number of people, having a lot of fishing poles out there, getting people into your system and then nurturing them and then converting them to the sale. Or sometimes people, like I say, will lurk in the background watching what it is you're doing, talk to a friend, talk to their primary care physician, see lots of different things that you have out there, and then just know that you are the person for them. That's the most ideal way to make that non-salesy sale. So the bottom of the funnel. This is a part where you may have a lot of people coming in and they seem ready to either have surgery or to utilize your services, your products. And then at the end of the day, they don't choose you. They don't move forward. So what is the reason why that typically happens? Well, some of the most common problems are that perhaps you never asked for the sale. We were so focused on the rest of it that we never asked for the sale. Maybe, and I'm not saying you asking for the sale as the clinician, if you're the clinician watching this, but opening up that option for them to know easily what their next step is. So if you're doing a presentation through a webinar or at a local organization, or no matter what it is that you're doing, you have to open up to what it is that you offer exactly and what their next step is to move forward. So perhaps nobody is asking for the sale, or you're making it way too complicated. So in order to get to you or to have their service, they have to go through all these different processes and get approval and this and that, and they go through all these different things before they can even get an appointment in your practice. So that can be a real turnoff for patients. The next thing is that maybe your pricing is way too high or too low. Either one of these can be a turnoff and result in a non-sale. If it's too high, there's not necessarily something wrong. We're going to talk about that and how to fix this. But if it's too high, perhaps it wasn't the right clientele for you, or perhaps, they just didn't get the value. They didn't understand what it was and what differentiated you that caused that higher price. If it's too low, that's another thing that can be a problem. Sometimes people are wary of something that costs too low, because if it's too good of a deal, it's probably not that great of a deal. And so sometimes you can undermine your sales efforts by being the lowest charging program or in town. So that can also be something that can backfire on you. Maybe your prices are too high or too low. The next thing is at the time they decided to make the decision to buy, you just weren't top of mind. So perhaps you were like really consistent with all your posts, and you were nurturing through your email sequence, and then really you kind of just got off track and you had a couple months off. And so at that time, somebody else came in with a great marketing message, whether it's valid or not, and that made them go like, I'm buying that. I'm ready right now. So that's why it's so important to be so consistent, because at whatever point someone's ready to take the next step and raise their hand and say, yes, I am finally going to lose this weight, and I know that you're the one to help me with that, you need to still be top of mind with them. The last thing is that there might be a patient perception that maybe you have poor customer service or poor outcomes. That can come from a lot of different things, from erroneous online reviews to just something somebody said at a dinner party or at a cocktail party or in a phone conversation, or something that they read online. You know, people take that stuff to heart. They're searching online so much. So you've got to make sure that that is addressed and that you're keeping an eye out for it. And that if something does happen where someone posts a negative review, that you're not, ignoring that you're addressing it, and that you're talking about people understand that there's going to be issues along the way, but knowing that you take every step to correct any problems is really important. So those are some of the most common problems that result in a non-sale for someone that you were sure was going to move forward. And ways to optimize this bottom part of the funnel truly is to simplify your process for your whole sales process. So simplifying that process is really important. That could come from just really sitting down, looking at what your pricing looks like. Is it insurance-based? Is it cash-based? What does it include? How clear is it to the patient, not only what it includes, but more importantly, what the value is to them, what your typical outcomes are, some of your patient testimonials, including all that as a part of your sales process will really help. And especially if you're one of those that is a higher price, really stacking that with all the value that goes along with it, whether it's your education program, some additional samples that they get, the expertise of your clinicians, the professional clinicians that you have, the added fitness services or accountability or your app. Or there's so many different things that can play into that. Your membership site, how you do webinars every week with your patients. So a lot of these things can help add that value that really sets you apart, and it allows people to go, oh yeah, that's worth it. It has to be a no-brainer for them, especially if your prices are a bit higher than your competitors. So we want to make sure that sales process is in place, and that they can easily make appointments. They can easily reach out to you. You can easily communicate with them as they're making their decision. This involves easily being able to email them, text them, call them, whatever method that they like to communicate in. Being able to accommodate that is really important. The other thing you can do to help correct any problems in this area is have one of your team members, or particularly if you have a new team member, have them go through your whole process from start to finish. They will have a fresh perspective. Ask them to go through it as a customer, and we allow all of our team members to utilize our products at cost, and also they can participate in any of our weight loss programs at no charge. So even our fitness center, when that was up and active before COVID, they could use that at no charge. So letting them be a part of that process, even for our whether they're a surgical candidate or not, we have them go through the whole process. So the webinar and their one-on-one consultation, going into the OR, seeing the surgery, looking at the membership program, what's the follow-up care like for that whole first year? We have them as an integral part of that, and they then can provide fresh perspectives and fresh feedback on where did it go really smoothly and where was it a little bit bumpy, where was there some disconnect, where was there a little bit of perhaps not the greatest customer service, so they can identify that and help with fixing that problem. So fresh perspectives can be really helpful in that regard. The other thing is to do a comparison with your competitors in terms of pricing. I'm not saying use the same pricing as them. I think it's fine for you to determine your own pricing, but just knowing what's out there and what it is that they're including or what they're offering is something that can be helpful. If you've watched any of my trainings, I do recommend not doing what your competitors are doing, not getting obsessed with that, not trying to duplicate it. Be your own unique person when it comes to your program and what you offer and how you deliver your services, and also how you market and how you message. That being unique is going to serve you so much better than trying to copy somebody else. And now, granted, we can not reinvent the wheel, but it doesn't mean that you should copy your competitors that are across town. So I try to make sure that you're not doing that. The other thing is to create easy to understand sales sheets for your services, anything that's cash pay in particular, or if you have a bariatric surgery program and you have a program fee, something like that, we want to make sure that they understand fully what that cost is for and really believe that it is, like I say, a no-brainer. It's got to be something that makes total sense. And it has to have the things that are added on that they know could be really helpful for them. It's also helpful to introduce some of your other services, perhaps, as you stack some of those offers. So that's another way that you can help in terms of one of your internal funnels that we haven't really gotten to, but that's another way to do that. And then making sure that you're communicating regularly and that you are top of mind, and including that clear call to action so that they know what the next step is. That's how you can help in terms of this bottom of the funnel difficulty with converting people into becoming an active and happy patient of yours and someone who uses your products and services willingly and shares them with everybody that they know. So that's the bottom of the funnel. Now, I mentioned just real briefly internal funnels. It is one of those things where you do, once your patients, they have an established patient, making sure that you're staying in contact with them. I know what that could be look a lot of different ways. It could be a weekly e-newsletter. I'm so excited. A lot of our members are starting to send those. We're crafting them. We're developing templates for them. We're making it as simple as possible to leverage what it is they already have out there. But patients love that. If they're not on social media, they don't see what you're posting. So if it's some awesome education, you got to send it to them in a different way. The other thing is you own your email list. You own that yourself. It's your patients. So it's a great way to stay top of mind and promote whatever else it is that you have coming up or some event or anything like that. Some of your success stories, inviting them to be a success story. It really helps kind of pull this all together. So that helps increase your number of internal funnels and internal sales as well for the lifetime value of your patient. So, automation is another topic for another day. There's a lot of things you can do with that. That makes it easy for you and your team. However, we have come to the conclusion of our patient funnel discussion from internal to external funnels, top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, bottom of the funnel. And I hope this has been helpful. There is a free resource for you as well. weightlosspracticebuilder.com/free is where you can find that. And I hope you enjoy that. Reach out to me, Carol, Karol, at weightlosspracticebuilder.com. If I can be of assistance in any way, even just brainstorming something. I know I love each and every practice I have the honor of working with. It's so amazing. They're all very driven. They are people who want to do better for their patients and really increase the reach for their practice. And it excites them. I know I'm so excited. It excites me as well. So there's so many different ways you can do things. It's just a matter of making it so it works for you and your team, and it's streamlined and it's patient friendly and it stands out from your competitors. So anyhow, in the meantime, I hope you have a great day, and until our next time together, take care.